Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into the Switched at Birth after show. If I can talk, you guys, it is the series finale. We are talking season 5, episode 10, Long Live Love. And we have Katie Leclerc, which is how you say her last name, here to talk about it with us.
Leclerc.
Oh gosh.
Like a chocolate eclair.
It's fine. We can say when we go back.
We're good.
Tune in, guys.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Like Claire. Chocolate eclair.
We had to open with this song just because of Bennett. We had to, you guys. It's what they played during the montage. Before we get started, I still said Katie's last name wrong. Katie, say it for me.
Leclerc.
Was anybody guessing that? That
No.
C confuses me there.
It's French people can't spell anything.
I just already messed it up for
France.
Katie. It's okay though, because Katie seems like the coolest person in the entire world, you guys. True statement. Guys, it's the series finale.
We're done.
I mean, did you watch it last night? I'm assuming you did.
Well, we live tweeted, so you sort of like watch, type, and everyone was there practically, so it was like a giant party. There's champagne and cupcakes, and delicious cupcakes, and there was pizza, and I mean,
And
it was
tears?
mayhem. And there were tears.
I believe that. Okay, guys, before we get started, let's go ahead and get some introductions. Miss Kelsey.
Yes. Hey guys, I am Kelsea Hightower, and you can find me online at Kels Hightower. And I'm just so excited to start the after show of the finale. It's bittersweet, and Hannah's already crying.
Listen,
I just want you to know
I
that.
cried. I watched it twice, and I cried both times.
Yeah.
But we have Katie here. Katie, where can everybody find you?
At Katie Leclerc on Instagram and Twitter, and then at Cabaret Wildcat on Snapchat.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Fancy.
That is a fancy name. Do
I
you do
mean-
cabaret?
In a previous life, maybe?
All right. Okay. I support that. And you guys, I'm Hannah Prichard. You all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheHotShotDude. And we do have Becca, who is on the live chat right now. So tweet in any questions, comments, whatever that you want Katie to hear throughout the show. And we'll
Yes.
talk about it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what exactly I wanted from the series finale, but this was exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know exactly what I was looking for, but watching it, it just made me feel good the entire time. It was everything that I wanted.
Same.
For every single character.
I was about to say, they closed every loose end, every bow was tied. It was just, I couldn't have asked for anything better out of this. So it's, you're still gonna
Right?
cry. I don't know if she's
Stop
gonna make it through.
Stop it! I'm having a lot of eye issues too, so I mean, like, I might cry.
Yeah,
Everything seems like
but it's
water up in
allergies.
here.
It's just allergies.
Exactly.
It's
It's
not-
allergies, you guys. That's all that it is.
But I agree with you that every character I felt closure with, and I really liked the story for each one. There wasn't anyone that I was like, this happened, or like, they're not together, or we don't know this. It's like, I felt closure from everything.
I did too.
Yeah.
Can we first talk about my favorite subject, who I really felt some closure about?
Yes. Start us
Bishop.
off.
Bishop and Regina. All I have to say is, everybody, I told you so. Last week, everybody had a lot of doubt in me. Yell didn't agree with me that she would still end up with him. She was like, no way, he's getting on a plane. It's not going to happen. How's she going to get there in 24 hours? And I said that she will, no matter what. It was meant to be Bishop and Regina in the very end. And it happened. What did you think? Did you want? What was your feelings about Bishop?
Oh, it was definitely always, it needed to be that. I'm totally with you. I'm totally with you. And like, Luca's cute and sweet, but he's a boy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did you all feel that
Regina
way?
needs a man.
He needs a man.
Was anybody in the cast like all about Luca and Regina?
I'm all about Michael, but not about like
Right.
Luca and Regina, no.
Yeah.
But it was really funny when it was happening. Like, Michael busted out his phone and he was like recording the moment, and like everybody was like teasing him and like hard making fun of him, and he was just like, okay guys, okay, like I couldn't do anything about it. He like took it really well.
Really?
It was like a really funny, it was one of the few times in the live tweet where like everybody was like, rah! We were all catcalling and making fun of him. So
That's lovely. And I like the way that they handled the breakup. We all were trying to figure out how exactly the breakup would go, because honestly, we all knew that she wasn't going to end up with Luca at the end. You know what I mean? Like, even though it was going to go into the finale, it still didn't seem right to leave Regina dating a younger man. I don't know why, but something about it seemed wrong.
And I'm glad that it didn't go into what it was leaning towards with the tweet a couple episodes ago where, like, he might have been cheating on her. So I'm really glad it didn't do that.
Yeah.
And it just, it ended on her terms and
Exactly. And there wasn't
her
like
past love, you know.
Right. And there wasn't like a big fight, which maybe had it not been the finale, maybe next week there would be some like drama, like post breakup. But
always drama.
Right. But fortunately in this case it was just like, stop talking, I'm walking out. And that was it.
I know, but I will say that is such a bold move to ask somebody to turn themselves in and go to prison. Like,
huge.
So I'm here and I'm gonna be with you, but I'm gonna need you to serve like 2 to 3 years, you know, minimum.
And I'm gonna raise your kid
and
while
I'm gonna
that
raise
happens.
your kid. So that's such a bold thing, and I was like, oh,
It's huge.
it's huge.
But ultimately his freedom will be longer for going to prison for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, if he were to choose not to, he would kind of be imprisoned his entire life. You know what I mean? He would have been running. He would have never actually been free. So,
For sure.
I mean, I think this is actually the best solution for everybody. It's lovely.
It's so sweet.
She'll visit in jail. You know.
Oh, yeah.
She'll cook something.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Regina's not cooking anything.
You're cooking. Daphne's cooking.
Yeah, like I kind of forget sometimes that Daphne had like this whole cooking side of her as
Chef
well.
Jeff, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We never forgot about Chef Jeff. Never. Like, I feel like Daphne always had these random weird little romances.
Oh, there's a
like,
lot.
Yeah, there was.
There are a lot, which we're going to talk about that later because I want to see your thoughts on how things ended with your love life. Not ended, but like in the show, how it ended for Daphne. But before we do that, I do want to finish up on Regina and talk about her moving back to East Riverside, which was great. I love that. And that conversation with Daphne and Regina in the car broke my heart. One of the moments I cried. What was that like filming that part?
It was good. I mean, the whole episode, like, I feel like the show really benefited by knowing that this was the last episode.
Right.
So it was like how you have to achieve closure for all these different literal loose ends. So filming that part of the episode was really sweet. And it was like, I remember the first pilot episode filming in that same house. Like, we always we didn't go to East Riverside very often, but we always went back to the same house. And like, I remember that day I had a crazy headache and Constance like rubbed my hand, and it just like sitting in the car outside of that house, I was like, dang, man, like it's done. Like, I said, oh my God, it's over so many times in that week.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Was there a ton of crying on set the entire time?
There were some, we didn't have to push tears out of our face
I
at
believe
all.
that. It all looked very, very real.
Yeah.
Very real.
And I feel like you had to have that with every person, you know, because
Yeah.
we shot a lot, and there was like the big party scene where everybody, I feel like, kind of lost it, and it was just, I mean, that was and then the house, but then I guess then you had that with all these other people individually too, you know, like Regina, the Kennishes.
Right.
I mean, big.
Which is also cool, you guys, because Kelsea knows Katie. She was there on set, so it was cool to watch them also see each other in the studio today when Katie showed up.
Yes. So as you remember, I've worked in costumes. That's what we talked about the first time. So I was kind of behind the scenes, kind of stuck in the wardrobe department in a good way. But yes, it was a very different experience. We had our closure like with our team, like during rap week and stuff like that. But I know it's very different, like being on set and with characters that you've worked with, like.
But it's such a collaboration, though. That's the beauty of this industry. Like, every single department has such a big part to play in the final result. And, I mean, we were thankful for you guys, and we're thankful for the grips and the silent people. Like, everybody, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Super
It was a big, close family, an enormously large, close family.
I will say that this is one project where you do feel like a family, because there's a lot of times that you go to different shows and you might day play or you might come on and it's kind of like, oh yeah, we all work on this thing, but we're not all close and we don't all know each other.
Right.
And with this, I feel like because it was kind of tucked away in Santa Clarita, we kind of ran the town, that we all just kind of became close. Like, we knew transpo department. We knew, like, all the little things. So I'm transpoable, you know? Like,
Everybody
so
knows
great,
what that
you
means
know?
when you say that. But they loved it anyways, didn't you? I'm like, what did, I don't even know what that meant. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, maybe. Who knows? What? But anyways,
wink.
Going back to the show, you know, I'm changing topic because I don't know what transpo is. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, actually. But anyways, I'm going back to it. We got a lot of beautiful moments aside from Regina and Daphne's. I felt like we got to see kind of all of the characters have their little moments together, which I loved so much about this episode. And everybody got to have these like final closing, final closing moments where they reassured each other of their feelings for each other and their love for each other and their care and
even
what
like
this
the
entire
siblings
journey
moment.
was.
That was one of my favorite moments.
Agreed. I love that. It had been so long since we saw Toby, Daphne, and Bae together.
Just the three of them. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
them, like, rehashing memories together. Even though it was a short little scene, it was so cool and so fun and so relaxed.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see Toby in that mix, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's the one we really don't get to see anymore interact with you both. You know? So that was...
Off being a dad.
I know it!
Grown up, adult, teen.
Which we can go ahead and talk about Toby right now. Because
I was proud in this episode.
Yeah, I was happy for Toby because he's been all over the place.
He's been through the ringer.
He has. And, like, we were laughing last week about what in the world is Toby's job. You know what I mean? Like, really, he's like
what
a
do DJs really do?
Exactly. And then he was, putting in the surveillance for Regina, and we're like, when did he get certified to do that? Like, I don't know when that happened. Like, do we know what Toby does? But I like that this was kind of his ending storyline because we've all been asking what he does.
And it's a good one. It's the first time where I'm like, yes, this is your purpose. This is exactly what you should be doing. Where, like, I mean, music, obviously, with him, of course, like, that's been his thing the whole time. But just going back and forth with all these different things, like you're talking about, it's like, where's your home? What is, like, the best for your character? And this is it. Like, taking care, or, being an advocate for disabilities and everything. He just, like, lit up. This was one of my favorite episodes of him. I will say that.
I completely agree with that. And it was the most we've seen him on screen in a long time. Yeah, he got a lot of time. And that entire scene with Harrison was just lovely.
Yeah.
It was so, so good. Did any of you get to be there and watch that scene?
I was not there on the day, no.
It was lovely. And they had Becky from Glee. I loved that. It made me so, so happy. Somehow I missed it the first time I watched it. I don't know if I was, like, looking down or what I was doing at the moment, like an idiot. But this time I was like, Becky? Becky Nina? What?
That's what I was like
I
last
had
night.
no idea. I loved it. I loved it so much.
I asked the chat what their favorite moment in the episode was, and Kay
question.
Norton and Ariana, I probably butchered that name, said the
Leclerc?
scene with Toby at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
It was a great scene.
It was a great moment.
And Harrison nailed the actor who
proud.
played Harrison. I thought he was great.
He was.
He really, really nailed that. And I love that Toby, I don't know, he's having all of these realizations since having Carlton of the patience level needed for anybody with disabilities. And I think it also, wrapped full circle with what the show was about to begin with. And it bringing up the deaf conversation and making it so much more well-known and understood to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've really thought that this storyline as well brought that back full circle and this whole need to understand and be patient with people. And there were multiple characters who kind of said that during the show. There was a moment that Catherine said it, and I said something along the lines, when she was talking to Daphne about being scared the first time that she met her. And she was like, I was taught that hearing was good and deaf just meant sad.
Yeah.
And I thought that kind of went along with the whole Carlton issue and Harrison and everything as well. And I thought it was really, really beautiful the way that they so seamlessly, like, brought that back in for the finale. It was so lovely. Oh, I just want to cry about it, talking about it.
I know.
All of the emotions. It's totally okay. I'm going to keep it together. Great.
And it's okay if you don't.
Yeah,
still love you.
It's okay, because I think everybody watching is probably crying.
Well, but if you start, then I'll start, and then
Exactly.
it's just like a domino effect.
Yes, all the way
And then
down.
Josh is gonna start crying in the booth.
And he doesn't even know what it's about. Yell's video. Yes, we have
I'm already crying.
Lovely. Well, at least hopefully you have tissues back there. I think Yell's video, she may be crying in it. I don't know. She wasn't originally, but now watching us, she may. We have a video of Yell, you guys, which we should go ahead and play now.
Yeah.
Can we go ahead and play that video of
Let's have
Yell?
a cry break.
Yeah.
Hey, Switch to Birth fans. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there for the series finale, but I just want to say thank you so, so much for always tuning into the after show, for subscribing on iTunes. We really appreciate it. We love this show so much. Hopefully we'll see you on other shows. Thanks.
Aww.
Seriously, we're really bummed Yale's not here.
Yeah.
She's been
Yeah.
doing the show from the very, very, very beginning. And I think she's the one who spearheaded making sure that it was going to be an after show. And it was like, I think it was a big issue actually when she first wanted to do it about how if they would do sign language on it, if they would do subtitle. Yeah.
Really?
And Yale's fluent in sign language.
She has said that.
Yeah, she actually wanted to be able to do that on, but everybody was confused as to what was the proper way to go about it. But Yale does do sign language, and she actually would do some videos afterwards of doing some signing for stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I know she does.
Yeah. So bummed that she's not here.
know, we
Yale's
miss her.
probably watching, yelling at me because I messed up Katie's name at the beginning. I get it, Yale. We're doing okay, though.
Or she's not watching because she doesn't want spoilers in Vegas.
That's a true statement, but she will watch eventually.
She will watch.
And I will get a text before it even starts. It's fine. Anyways, enough of you, Yale. We're getting back to the show. Okay, so also I want to talk about Melody as well, which I love that we gave her a little wrap up at the end as well, because we don't get that much of Melody. Melody is always the one that they go to for advice. You know what I
the
mean?
stable,
Words.
She is.
concrete person.
Leader.
And that's why this
Fearless leader.
And
She's
for
fantastic.
her was so perfect. She is. They couldn't have chose a better actor or character to have this ending and to constantly facilitate all of these other children and bring them into her home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bringing back Daniel too, like, oh my gosh.
Honestly, I kind of forgot about him a little bit.
I know, but he's such a good actor. Like, I am obsessed with him. He is such a good actor, and I'm so happy they brought him back. And it is like Melody's there for the people that she loves, and she's okay where she's at because kids everywhere need help. So I loved that storyline, and I'm equally obsessed with Marlee Matlin. Probably more obsessed with Marlee Matlin.
Right? And I don't know why, for whatever reason, having her play this part and this being her storyline, I think is so perfect.
So perfect.
Because of who she is in general. And to the whole community and acting community and the deaf community, everything. Like, it was the perfect part for her.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
I was terrified to meet her the first time. Literally, I walked up to her and I was like, "Hello, Miss Matlin. It's so nice to meet you." And my hand was shaking, and I forgot to sign. I was so nervous. I did not sign to her. And she just looked at me like, "What?" It was great.
Oh my god, that's so beautiful. I would act the exact same way though.
Oh yeah. But I should have signed. That's like, I know sign language.
It doesn't even matter. It was probably even more flattering to her that you were like so confused and shell-shocked.
I know.
Yeah, seriously. And then you could go back and sign and tell her that you freaked out and couldn't
Oh
sign.
yeah, she laughs at me currently. Yeah. Or like, we went to a birthday party for her interpreter Jack, and my husband went up to her and was like, "It's nice to see you again," because my husband doesn't sign, but he was like
Right.
trying, and she was like, "What?" And then my husband was like, "Shoot, shoot, shoot." He's like panic looking for me. He's like, "Ah," and I'm not to be found. He's like, "It's nice to see you again." And then she's like, "I'm just messing with you." Like, that's her personality.
That is awesome.
She's a
That's
jokester.
fantastic.
Yeah, she's a character.
Yeah.
Oh, potty hands. I censored myself here in this moment, but ooh, she's got a potty mouth, potty hands. Yeah.
Seriously? That is
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. I love that
Oh, yeah.
so much.
I never got to see
dirty.
that side of her.
She's
I love that.
dirty. I love it. I love it.
That almost seems
I'm
more
airing out
perfect
all
as
her
well.
dirty laundry right now. Her very, very dirty laundry.
Emphasis on dirty.
Yes.
That's so great. I love that. Okay, speaking of all the parents, I suppose now it's time to move into John and Catherine, who also had one of my favorite storylines tonight. Well, I guess last night. Yell and I always give a really hard time to John and Catherine, their characters, aside from the fact that Yell loves D.W. Moffat. But they generally have had the most boring storylines. Like, I always laugh that they might as well always be talking about taxes to me. Like, legit. But
That
this
like makes it feel like real parents, though. You know.
yeah,
It's like,
it does. It does.
all right, we're talking about the parents.
Right. But this season it's actually been a little bit better. You know,
Yeah.
we have
Oh,
the
they-
like erectile dysfunction issue.
Oh my god, that episode. Oh my god.
Hilarious.
So funny.
Love that so much. But this one was a very real thing for them, and yeah, it wasn't a typical like boring parental kind of issue. It was,
And the scene at the end with them,
oh my gosh,
oh, Leah kills me.
was so beautiful. It broke my heart. It was just in tears about that, but it was such a beautiful thing to show, because, you know, John had already done the genetic test, which none of us knew. Obviously, that was a huge shock to find out. And I don't think any of us knew in the last episode how that was going to go or where they were going to take that. He did only know, though, a month beforehand, which, fortunately, it was only a month. He didn't have too much time to let his brain go.
Unlike Regina, 14 years.
Yeah, right? Exactly, right? Right? Sometimes I forget about that, and I'm like, Regina.
That's a big secret.
Yeah, seriously. And I'm glad that they didn't tell the kids. Once, like, Catherine found out, they never told the kids by the end of the episode. It was just something that was kept between them two. Yeah, and I loved, once she approached him and was like, you know, did you think that I had cheated on you? Which obviously he had, but he chose not to leave. And I thought her coming into that study or office or whatnot, whatever you want to call it, and saying that to him and him saying, you know, you were still my family regardless. And even though he knew Bae was not his child, Bae would always be his child. And that was, I mean, just...
That's the heart of the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we really saw that at, you know, the end, which we'll talk about. But all of these kids were all of their kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All three parents or four or whoever, all of the parents, all of the older figures in their life were parents to all of them. They were all family, and nobody was more than the other. Like, I feel like Bae and Daphne were very equal to both Regina, Catherine, and John. Like, nobody seemed...
And I feel like we talked about that a lot, or we saw that a lot during this episode, too, because when Daphne and Catherine were talking about Bae and her art and how talented she was and all that stuff, it's like that came out again, that it's like, oh, you know, she might have had natural talent, but also we all raised all the kids together.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, it's just such a... I love that these themes were reiterated through each character.
Absolutely.
And the whole, you know, show, the whole theme of the show, the whole message of the show is, like, shown through everybody. And I think that's what made it such a touching thing. So,
it really did.
I love it.
It really, really did. I'm assuming these are all things that you guys, like, talked about once reading the last episode.
I feel like the writers definitely hashed it out, because we would just get the scripts and we're like...
Right. Like, after reading this final episode, did you all just sit there and, like, weep for a second and talk about how lovely it was?
Oh my gosh, it was so good. I also just shout out to Freeform for giving us an hour and a half, because that made a really big difference. Like, when we got canceled, it was the hardest day of my career. Also, it makes you a real actor to have a show that got canceled, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
It's all
It's
okay.
true.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm still shocked.
But, I mean, also, you guys got 5 seasons for this wonderful show, you know? That really did so much that we, like, really forget about, because we all get lost in being fans of the show and these characters that we're used to. Yeah. That we forget what the show initially did being on air.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge and groundbreaking, and I'm sure that's something that you all had to feel closing the show up.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, breaks my heart.
I know.
I'm gonna cry again, you guys. Shoot.
Do we need another cry break? Do we have anybody in the chat?
Yes, about
Thank
the
you.
Catherine and John storyline. Gabriel said it was his favorite storyline of theirs, and then Anna was talking about how it showed how, like, stable John and Catherine are.
That's true.
Because
just being like the
John
rock,
didn't leave.
you know, having that good example, that good parent example. I feel like, you know, we see a lot of shows with divorce or single parents, which is good, and we saw a strong single mother in Regina. Like, that was a great example. But with John and Catherine, it's like you don't really see that a lot on television either.
No.
Like, 2 parents together doing fine.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Exactly.
that's kind of missing
Who
a
also
lot.
have arguments, but
Yes.
like normal marital arguments.
Yeah.
You know?
Can recover and grow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's such a good thing. Yeah.
they still have the trust between them.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Good chat.
Yes.
Thanks for putting stuff into the chat.
And I also have to say that I see everyone's comments about Wilkie in the chat.
I love that everybody's commenting about
So
Loki.
many people are commenting about Wilkie in the chat. Olivia just, like, commented Wilkie, just Wilkie. So I'm like,
Shout out, Olivia. I love Wilkie too.
I love that. So it cracks me up that everybody's talking about Wilkie for this series finale. What is that? Is that just like a throwback? They miss him?
people were bringing him up last week too, I feel like. So
Well, all right. Okay. Well, Wilkie. Yay, buddy.
What's up, Austin Butler?
He's doing well. He's doing fine.
He's
It's
doing
okay.
his thing. It's cool.
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's really
Don't
doing
worry.
Okay. Yeah. He's doing okay. It's going to be fine for Wilkie or Austin Butler. Whatever. Same thing.
Everybody.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
Wilkie never dies.
We also got to
He's
see, which we always see John kind of be a clean edge stickler, kind of going by the book, being by the
Republican.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and thank you for saying it so I didn't have to. Yes.
Yep.
See John being a Republican.
Literally, somebody tweeted Lizzie last night, and they were like, or Leah, I think they tweeted, they were like, thank you for displaying a Republican that I can love, or like some version of that. And I'm like, okay, here we go.
I love that
There
so
it
much.
is.
Thank you
Yeah.
for saying it for me,
Yeah.
so I didn't have to sit there and keep trying to find the right
He was
words.
a senator. Like, he was literally a Republican.
Exactly.
It's in the show. It's okay. It's
right.
okay.
True. It is what it is. I guess it's not an
There were
evil
t-shirts.
word.
There were
say
t-shirts. You made t-shirts.
We made t-shirts.
I might have stolen one. At
You
the
all
end of
made
the day.
t-shirts? Wait, hold on. What?
There were, yeah.
Yeah, John Kennish for Senate.
Oh,
T-shirts.
yes.
Mhm.
I thought you meant like some sort of other shirt about him being a
Being
Republican
Republican.
or like
I
making fun of
John
GW
Kennish,
or something.
Republican.
Yes.
Red.
Seriously, that's what I thought, and I was like, "Where are these T-shirts? Can I get one of these?" And maybe the only. Never mind. You know what? I'm about to say personal things, so I'm just going to stop myself now.
I definitely stole one of those shirts. I stole a Kangaroo Crawl t-shirt. I
were
stole
good.
Buckner High School shirts, Carlton. Like, I have
Yeah.
a lot of swag.
Good.
That's good.
And
I'm glad that you took
everybody
it.
was wrapping out in the wardrobe department, and it was just like there were racks, and I was like, I'm sure they won't mind.
You won't notice.
So many things.
Little did
I had
you
a
know.
squirrel apron that Catherine wore in like one episode.
yeah.
Oh my god, I have so much stuff.
That's good, though, because the more stuff that you took, the less that I had to deal
Put
with.
away.
There you go. All right, well,
So I'm
way to go, girl.
You've
Yes.
been approved now
I'm
by
very
wardrobe
thankful.
to take it.
for you.
A year later.
It all came full circle.
I have the authority in all matters wardrobe.
yeah, you know.
Not really. No authority. Don't let me lie to you.
It's all right. I got that stamp, so I'm good. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. You're done. You're good.
Great. Lovely. I'm glad we cleared up the wardrobe.
So back to John.
Yes, to our dear our Republican, our dear little crazy Republican who
Yes.
has a hard time knowing how to properly support his dear creative daughter.
I know that was
Yeah.
that was the only really tough part. I will say that because yes, he loves Daphne, and that's very good. Sorry, I did have something in my
I was
throat.
gonna
That was
say.
not
It
being
was a very
dramatic.
punctuation.
Yeah,
I
it
gotta
seemed like
get
you
it
were
out.
hinting to something, and I couldn't catch on to what.
I really wasn't hinting. I promise. But yeah, but Bae is just asking for love from her dad. She's like struggling artist, has no money, doesn't know anything about electricity bills,
real.
and it's like, just dad, I'm doing great, right? And he's like, you could have gone to school, art school, and like had a degree. And she's like, that didn't work, so I'm making the most out of it,
Right,
And
yeah.
it's like, I feel like being in LA, we can all kind of relate to that, you know, just being like struggling
Absolutely.
artists, oh, you have to pay bills now. Like, okay, cool. What's that? So
Absolutely.
yeah, and yeah, we really saw that come
Yeah.
out. Like that's almost a sibling rivalry. Like in a way, I mean, you guys didn't have a fight, which is great, but
Right.
yeah, you kind of saw the competitiveness of like between siblings for your parents.
Right.
So that was kind of good to see, and there was closure, so that was good.
Yeah.
It's not like it ended poorly, but
Right.
we did
Poor
see that
Bae, though, honestly. Like,
real.
so often. Poor Bae.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Dad,
big joke.
my
Like,
art.
it was a big joke on set that Bae would never walk out of a scene. Everyone would walk out on Bae, like, constantly.
That's a true statement.
Yes. She never got the, like, She was always left with the,
That's
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
it was
And
sad.
we constantly laughed about that. I mean, not laughed about that. I gave Daphne quite a bit of a hard time sometimes. I did. I went on a little rant about Daphne last week.
Truth comes out.
That's okay. That's okay.
I did.
Daphne made questionable decisions sometimes. So
She did, and you
yeah.
know, Bae took a lot of heat for Daphne.
Oh,
at
did she
you
ever?
know? So I kind of went on a little rant about it. So I'm actually glad to hear you say that about Bae, and I'm like, okay, good. She knows.
Yeah.
She knows. Great.
Brunettes stick together. I see what's happening. I see what's happening here.
Yeah.
Not at all.
But
I mean, yes, maybe a little bit.
the character flaws are what makes the characters we love.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true.
Yeah.
Exactly. I still
Very
love
well
Daphne
put.
just as much. But it is heartbreaking to watch John so quickly accept and be so proud of Daphne simply because she was going to have MD at the end of her, potentially at the end of her name, or that she's going to be a doctor or have a doctorate or go to medical school, etc. And do things like buy the book, which is so easy for John to understand.
Yeah.
To him, that is the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. And he doesn't understand what it could mean to not do things step by step by step and in this practical fashion of like, you go to high school, then you go to college, then you go and get a master's, and then you make a lot of money. And to Bae, she doesn't do any of that. She has to struggle in a different way, which is still taking certain steps, but it's hard for a practical mind to understand a creative mind.
Well, and I feel like he just has Daphne to bank on because Toby has a high school degree and that's it, and his music, and Bae has art, so...
Daphne's the only one who went to school, so...
Yeah.
Poor John.
Smarty pants over here.
I'm trying to say medical terms with a deaf accent. Woo! That's
Girl,
fun. That's
I
fun.
don't know how you did that. Like, I'm floored anyways by your accent that you can do regardless. I'm floored by it. But also, medical jargon is... it's, like, impossible. Like, I have... no idea how you did it. And the way that Daphne would just, like, you would ramble it off as Daphne. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I know this like the back of my hand. I'm like, how? Sorry, that was a nice squeak, you guys. That was how? It was lovely, seriously.
Lots of takes.
Whatever, how many ever you needed to do, at least you still remembered the terms. You know what I mean? That in itself is...
Thanks, girl.
Yes, seriously. That's really seriously impressive.
Also, I liked in this episode, sorry, you were about to go into something
you're fine.
else.
Do it.
But that scene whenever he goes, whenever you're in the interview, and he goes, oh, maybe you should go off to something easy, like radiology. Like, I don't know, instead of a surgeon.
Right.
And I was like, oh, yeah, that's real
sorry?
easy. Okay.
For real.
Yeah.
All I was going to do is just wrap up that one so we can actually move to Daphne
Okay,
and
let's
talk about
move.
the surgeon stuff and all of that kind of stuff, and Bae, because we're getting near the end and we still not have talked about Daphne and Bae themselves and what they ended with and their love lives.
Let's
Whatever.
do it.
Words.
Loves.
Chat.
Quick,
Who's in the chat?
quick
What are
Twitter
they saying?
question that's like about like Daphne's career, kind of.
Okay.
Yes.
Where do you see Daphne in the future?
Daphne's a doctor, and she has I've thought about this, you guys. She's a doctor, she has a private practice, and she works with mostly deaf families. Because the thing is there should be deaf doctors, and people should be able to communicate to their doctor in their first language. So Daphne made that possible.
I love that.
I have
Absolutely.
goosebumps.
That was from
beautiful.
Cool Weird Kid on Twitter.
Cool weird kid.
Lovely. Thank
Yeah.
you. Somebody else asked that same question, so that takes one off that we don't have to ask there at the end. So that's great. Thank you so much, man. But my favorite scene for Daphne and I was her storming back into that office. It was absolutely incredible. And I didn't know a lot of those like technological advances for doctors who are deaf, and like them being able to wear clear masks and all of that. And
There's a workaround for everything.
Yeah.
You have to work harder, but there is a way to do it. Oh, yeah.
I love that, dude. And
Yeah.
I love that it gets you fired up too. I mean, obviously, but it was a really, really, really cool scene, and it was an entirely beautiful coming full circle for Daphne and her character as well. I didn't feel like we got a full closure as to where Daphne was going. She was the only one that I felt like we didn't get a definite win for Daphne at the end, but that in itself was Daphne's
But she did
win.
get a mic drop.
Exactly.
And I was
Oh,
real
yeah.
excited about that.
And that
It was very
her
moving.
win.
Like, I had
Yes.
goosebumps, and I was like, I can do things now. Like, I'm going to go change the world too, you know? Like, it was one of those powerful moments, and it was very well done. Thanks,
Exactly.
guys. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I had that feeling
Yeah.
at 2 a.m. last night. That I'm gonna go change the world.
Yes. It's 2 a.m., and I'm going to change the world.
Right. And it
Wait
felt
a
like-
second, maybe I'll go to sleep.
Start that tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it felt like a good note to leave Daphne's storyline on, especially her being between the two girls, the one who is deaf, and to end her story being like, yes, I am aware and I accept that there are going to be challenges, but what I am going to be an advocate for is showing that there are going to be challenges and I am still going to overcome them. And yell at everybody who doesn't understand that.
The best.
I loved it so
Yes.
much. And that big old idiot doctor.
Idiot!
Dr. Bennett or whatever your name was. Who do you think you are, sir?
Sir.
That poor actor who had to come in and just be like an ass in the last episode and then get yelled at.
Yeah. He did good though. Like you
He did a
hated
great
him.
job. Yes.
And he was
Yeah.
a really nice guy. So like,
Yes.
good for him.
Which brings us to Mingo getting the position.
Mingo.
Does Mingo take it? Does he not? Who knows? But I love that. And even though you were like joking in the way that you said it to him, but I love that you were like, no, take it. You know, like teach him something. And he like made a little joke about like chiseling at him. But also, that would be a cool thing for him to go do.
No, totally. In my
Yeah.
world that I've created, because I have a lot of downtime and have been employed for a long time, unemployed. In my world, he takes that job and like does the sports medicine thing because that's totally what he should do.
Yeah.
That's totally the path he should take.
It is. I agree. And not only for himself, but for Daphne as well.
Totally.
Especially if they're going to continue in a relationship
Oh yeah.
together.
Oh yeah. Babies, the whole thing.
Exactly. Because then she
I
can...
don't know.
Or he,
So fun.
like words, I don't know. But then
So
he
happy
can
that she ended up with Mingo,
Yeah.
or that it was going in that direction. Really excited about that.
You are?
Yeah, I
Were
love
you
that.
as well?
Yeah.
That's
Mingo
what you
was my
wanted?
favorite for Daphne. Wilkie.
Oh.
Wilkie was lovely. I loved Wilkie. I loved Wilkie. But I felt like Mingo learned sign language for her.
That's true.
Like Mingo, ooh, he was just good. And like
really
challenged her, but like was funny.
It's true.
I loved Mingo. I loved
true.
Adam
Good
too.
personality.
Yeah.
The chemistry was there, definitely. Like on screen, you could see it. Like,
Absolutely.
Daphne and Mingo.
I agree with that. I don't know what I wanted for Daphne relationship-wise. I felt like it was... We were saying last week it was so weird because you were one of the only characters that didn't have like an in-game relationship the entire time. You know
you
what
mean,
I mean?
you mean that Daphne made out with literally 12 people because
Yes.
we counted? We counted. Okay, here's what it is, guys. Daphne had daddy issues.
No,
Angela wasn't there. She didn't have a role model for real life. She had daddy issues. So
love
she made
this.
out with a lot of boys.
I
as a result.
absolutely love that. That was the decision that you made and the conclusion that you came to for Daphne. That is so beautiful. And I feel like you just answered every question for me.
Yeah.
Every doubt that I had about her future relationships. I don't know. You got it figured out for her, so it's going to be okay.
Unemployment gives you a lot of time to think.
Yeah, that's so beautiful, dude. I really, really love that. And you're making me okay with Mingo because I was very on the fence about it. I'm not
I
gonna
loved
lie.
Mingo.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of them when they started out, and then I don't know why. After a while, I just kind
you
of was
fell
like,
off.
I did. I
Also,
fell off a
the
little
the
bit.
ship name, is that what they call it? I don't know.
Dingo.
Dingo.
Yeah.
I loved the ship name.
Yeah.
I won't lie about that.
Yeah.
I loved it so much, but I was starting to like Chris a little bit. But I'm glad that they didn't end her with somebody that we didn't get to know very well. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that would have kind of been a weird ending for the show, I think, for anybody, or for any character, I guess I should say. But yeah, and I liked that we got to see Mingo have a real quick second of apologizing to Iris. I was concerned that was
good.
never going to be resolved, so it was nice to have even just like a little quick.
And Iris to be so
Exactly.
accepting of it, you know?
Exactly.
Because I think he tried to make amends, you know, earlier too.
With
Just
the
or say-
kangaroo crawl. But
Right.
he's just awkward.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't know what to do
Yeah.
with himself.
Exactly. He never really knew how to, and it was just as simple as just saying, I'm sorry.
I messed up.
Yeah.
And that's what it is all the
It's true.
time. It's just hard to put the words out.
It really, really is. Everybody complicates it and then ends up digging a bigger hole over
But if
time.
you just go, ooh, I was awful,
Yeah.
then it's good. You're good.
Exactly, and it was beautiful. It was quick, and it was done, and it was all that we needed.
Yep.
And it was lovely. Okay, you guys, we have to talk about Bay and Bemet and Travis. Yes, I said Bemet
that
because
time.
yes, it is that time,
montage.
and I hope that you guys appreciated that we played the music during the montage at the beginning because we may not have ended on Bemet, but we were going to, at least show them some
Yeah.
respect and love still for all the Bemet fans out there.
Which
Like
there
yourself.
are a lot.
a lot. Were
Yeah.
you a Bemet fan? Where was
What?
your-
How are you going to ask me that question? We're live right now. I'm not going to answer
the
properly
spot.
for people to like that answer. No, I was not a Bemet fan.
Oh no, you didn't hear her say it. I never asked the question.
Here's why.
We're gonna
No,
rewind.
Explanation. Time for the
I'm gonna
explanation.
justify. Bemet
Okay.
slept with Simone.
This is true. This is true.
I mean Emmett,
Yeah.
not Bemet.
I know, but we said that.
Emmett slept with, and that Bay did not deserve that.
it's very,
Very
true.
true.
It's very true. And
That's the
good
whole of
point.
it.
Agreed. And I loved I mean, honestly, I think everybody became a huge Bay and Travis fan by the end. They
Oh,
were
totally.
wonderful together.
Yep.
Truly wonderful, and a very mature, giving, caring relationship. It really, really was beautiful, and by the end, I wanted them, and I was happy with it.
And it's not to say that you can't forgive somebody for making a mistake, but it's just, I think we all have like that, like, high school. Like that love.
Your first love.
Yeah.
Puppy love.
But like that relationship that you love so much and it doesn't work out and it breaks your heart so badly. That's how you learn to love the next partner. And that's how you learn to appreciate the next partner, because you know how good it is when it's good and how much it sucks when it ends. So you like cherish your new love more because you know how much it hurts when it ends. They could never be together.
It's true.
They could never be together.
And honestly, in
That's
many
the best
ways,
answer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like,
now Kelsey's gonna cry. It wasn't even from the show. It was from Katie's response to Bennett.
just the best answers all the time.
But it's true though, and I think because of that, we kind of got our Bennett ending, which I loved, because they still gave us the montage. They still gave us them ending on good terms. Him going to Japan with Travis and them ending on the right note and being friends again and ending up together, which may be the real love story.
Can I just say
the bromance?
Yes.
Right? That's the best move for Bay. Just send them both away. You know, like as a woman, stay single. Goodbye.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's kind of true. Bay's got a lot going on for her, and she's never going to be a person to follow somebody else around. You know what I mean?
No.
So I do like the way that it ended, and with the Bennett thing, we got a full montage. We got to see the ups and downs of their entire relationship. Everybody got to relive that. That was your Bennett moment, and I think it was beautiful for everybody. They didn't end up together, but they had a little, I will always
nostalgia.
Get to say, they will always get to say they were each other's first love, and that is huge, regardless of whether they end up together or not.
Yeah.
That is huge, and that should be a happy ending for everybody. And with the happy ending, that dinner party scene, the DNA party.
Wait. Before we move on to the dinner party, do we have anybody in the chat who's talking about Bennett?
All the feels about Bennett.
Well, everyone in the chat is talking about Bennett or
of course.
Bennett or Bay and Travis. There's like half and half going on.
Okay. 50-50.
So, I mean, some people are still Team Bennett and are like saying they're gonna rewrite the end.
Do it, fanfic.
That would be fun.
And then some people are okay with Travis and Bay
Awesome.
together, which I mean, I agree.
Have I converted everyone in this room? Because I really feel strongly.
You know what? I'm gonna walk the line.
I really
always.
like Travis.
So
I know, but you're gonna call other people out and make them give answers. I see what we're doing here.
You know it. You know what? It's your last.
It's your
moment.
job. It's fine. It's your job.
It's fine. I still love Bennett. Yeah. It's okay, but I still love Travis. I'm sorry.
Oh, you just revealed it.
It's really difficult though, because Travis really stepped up by the end of this entire series.
Didn't he look good by then too?
I was going to say that.
Oh, Ryan Lane. Get cut, buddy.
I don't know if it. You're right. I don't know if it was because he got severely in shape or whatever it was.
Severely in shape.
He did. I'm sorry, but he
No,
did.
he
He got
did.
severely in shape. But I don't even know if it was that or it was his acting by the end of this series and the parts that they gave him and the way he executed it.
Oh my God, with the uncle?
Yes. Yeah. Which I said, which was such a weird comment for that episode, but I was like, this is so weird to say. But watching those scenes, I couldn't help but think how sexy Ryan was. Because I was like, the way he acted them and handled the material.
Yeah.
It was so attractive. He was just so sexy in that entire episode. He legit.
Well, and the way he stepped up for all the time. I feel like he was stepping up this season and punching people in the face and just standing up for other people.
He was manly,
right? And the way he was so gentle, though,
that was awesome. It
was lovely.
Mm-hmm,
Every time he kissed Bay, he grabbed her with both hands. You know what I mean? Touched her
at the end of it, he just grabbed her and just gave her a big old smooch and just
lovely.
fireworks.
It really was. Their chemistry was
fantastic.
really incredible. I really, really think so.
I feel like what's funny about the chat right now is it's a third Emmett, a third Travis, and then we have the people who aren't on either side saying Ty should come back.
Oh, okay. They're giving us the time to wrap up thing, so
we still have
we're
to
not
talk about stuff.
I know.
So,
This is an
speed
odd
race.
moment for you guys in the booth because I want to ignore you. I'm not going to, but I would like to. I won't.
We
don't
can
worry.
switch over to Facebook Live if necessary in the work.
Oh, stop it. Becca's throwing things off right now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we're going to like rapidly just talk about the happy ending of the DNA party. Then
Rapid fire. Got it.
Yeah, it was beautiful. We got little moments with all of them. Mom and Dad. I'm sorry. That was the most beautiful moment to me. Getting to call them Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It needed to happen.
it needed to happen. Was that
Yep.
the first time she ever said that to either of them?
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful. I think that was the best moment. And we got to talk about the comment. Because whatever, God, I wrote it down because it has to be talked about because it has to do with the show, obviously. But when they walk out to the front yard and they're about to watch the comment, and Bae says to Daphne, apparently this is a big deal, like it hardly ever happens. And you say, I guess we're really just...
I'm gonna cry now. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was about the entire show. You know what I
It
mean?
was about our lives, like our real lives too.
Exactly. It was everything. It was what the show did. It was that moment for all of you guys. It was such a beautiful ending note. It was so beautiful the way that
And
you
the
guys
poster
worded
shot.
It.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. Oh, Katie's gonna cry. We have to jump ship on this conversation. But seriously, it was I don't know if I've ever seen a series finale executed so well. Truly,
Thank you.
truly, truly. It was absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna cry about it now too. So we're gonna move on. And I'm going to try to get one question from each person who wrote in before we end this.
Fun.
SAB Forever would like to know, where do you see Daphne in the future? But you actually already answered that. so
She's a
that worked
doctor
out.
with Mingo and babies.
Yes, you asked that one question. We answered it in the beginning, so that made it easy. Kate in Canada would like to know, aside from Daphne, who was your favorite character?
Melody.
Yes, love that. Vanessa Morano, Italy, wants to know about the project you and Vanessa are producing.
We're working on a short that's sort of like slowly trickling. It's like an adaptation of a Japanese thing where we fight. There's
That
like
is-
stunts and fighting and yeah.
Awesome.
It may not ever happen officially, but
Whatever.
it should. And it's like pulling teeth to get this girl to do stunts, but I love her so much. I'm gonna force her to do it. I'm gonna force her to do it.
I love
What
that.
platform would that be on?
Yeah.
Probably YouTube. Like we would just release it as like a if you liked Switch to Birth, watch us fight.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's a good slogan, so make sure that's on the posters.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
And t-shirts. We'll make t-shirts. It's fine.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, before we wrap up real quick, what's going on for you next?
I'm on a show called Confess. You can watch it on Go90. You can watch it on the app or go90.com. And I love it. I love that.
Dig it.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
thanks for
seriously,
coming
thank
out.
you so much. Everybody, really quick, let's give our last goodbyes. Where can everybody find you, Kelsey?
All right. Well, the good people can find me on social media at Kelsea Hightower. That's Snapchat, Twitter. I don't use that, but Instagram. Those are the good places. So follow me there, and you can watch my AfterBuzz show, Superstore, tomorrow night at 6 p.m.
Absolutely. Katie, where can everybody find you?
At Katie Leclerc, Instagram, Twitter, Cabaret Wildcat on Snapchat. And seriously, go check out Confess because it's awesome.
Lovely. And Becca, where can everybody find you?
Y'all can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
Lovely, and I'm Hannah Prichard. You all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at The Hotshot Dude, and you can tune in and watch me and Becca at the end of the week for 13 Reasons Why after show. It's lovely, right? Katie's having all of the feelings.
Yeah.
And seriously, Katie, thank you so much for coming in for our finale. It is so thrilling to have you, and you guys, she is as cool as she seems.
She is.
Truly.
She is.
Truly, one of the most down to earth that has walked into this
Yeah.
studio. So thank you, seriously, so much. You guys, it has been an absolutely great season with you guys and great after show. Thank you so much. They're playing the music. They want me off right now. Bye. Love you guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.